Hey, YouTubers. Just an update. It is Tuesday, I believe it's the 10th of August, 2021. And as you can see, today's and a little bit of yesterday has been just going after this frame with, as you can see there, I'm using a paint chisel and just a standard just framing hammer. And the reason for that is, well, actually, let me get on this other side here. Sorry for spinning around. One of the previous owners actually coated this thing with some, let me see if I can get down in there and see. Coated it with some sort of either bed coating or something. So basically you've got that on the metal. Well, you've got the original paint, and then you've got some sort of a primer on top of that. And then there's some bed coating. It's like a tar, and it's a good, oh gosh, 5 mils thick. And then of course you've got the grease and everything that would flip up over the years. So I have spent probably 4 hours on each side of the frame, top and bottom and both sides there. And as you can see, the frame is flipped upside down right now. I stopped here and I'm about, 60% complete, I guess. The top of the frame is so, I mean, it's a mirror finish. It looks like basically that, bare metal. Actually, let me zoom in, right there. It looks just like that. It is smooth. It's got a little bit of pitting from over the years, but I was able to get the top done and then flip it over, and then go on the sides, the inside of the channels there, and then of course all the brackets with a combination of that paint chisel and the hammer, and also I've got a power wire brush, a wire wheel, and just lightly going over it, not trying to scar the metal or anything like that. But you can see here where I've still got to get down in there. I've still got to finish that cross member. I've still got to finish inside that cross member. A little bit more wire brush back here in the back, and then obviously in the inside of that channel there. I already did this side. Then the other thing is, once this is all wire brushed down and all of that crud's been scraped off of it, I've got to degrease it, and then I've got to take it outside and actually blow out the dirt that was down inside there. I don't know if you can see that, but that was almost solid dirt. And I'm sure when I get the power washing nozzle down in there, it'll just blast out of those channels. And then I'll definitely want to get inside of this tube here. The axle mounts, or excuse me, axle bumpers here will come off, and then I'll finish under there. I've still got to take off that exhaust hanger over there. Kind of a funny thing how they did that. Let's see if I can get that down in there. There's actually a bolt right up against the frame and a nut. So I'm gonna have to figure out how to get that out of there. No damage that I could see other than one little ding here. Right about where that paintbrush is, you can see it's bent down, and I think that's just, that's the transmission mount. So I think, they got high centered and came over a rock or something, just bashed that front end. So we'll heat that up and just bend it right back out. And then on the other side, it's just a little bit bent out there. We'll be able to repair that really easy. All the welds are fine. I didn't find any broken welds. I didn't find any that are disintegrated or need to be touched up. I've seen, I've got to get the front bumper off, obviously, and probably the rear bumper. I'll get those, I'll do those at the very, very end. Reason being is that the front and the rear bumper provide a little bit of stability to the frame itself. So when I'm flipping this around and moving around and working on it with the hammer and stuff like that, I want to make sure that it's as rigid as possible. As you know, they're pretty flimsy anyway. But if I take the front bumper off and the rear bumper and the transmission cross member, the only thing that will be holding this together are the welds here and here on this right here, okay? Well, obviously on the top as well. And then this rear cross member here. And I don't want to stress the welds any more than I have to. You know, the body being off, it's really flimsy. And the good news is it's straight. So if I stand over here, let's see if I can't get that shot there. I put a piece of string and ran it down both sides, and then just touched it with the level, about 10 places on each side of the frame. And it's not even, you know, the bubble on the level was touching, but the string is straight, and there is a little bit of a kind of a that side is up, this side is down, so it's kind of a, I don't know, kind of like that, kind of in the back corner's up and the front's down. See if I can push this and show you. So I'll push here on this front and then watch that back. See, you can see it just a little bit. It's probably about a quarter inch, if that. But I've got it sitting on jack stands, all four raised up, so I can sit in my chair and use the grinding wheel. As you know, you always get several pieces of the project going, and just so you can order parts and stuff like that, or if you're waiting on something, or if, you know, maybe you're waiting on a helper to help you lift something. I have still got the engine on the stand. I've got the distributor where it goes down into the case. I've got that just soaking in PB plaster. That's going to take a good 3 or 4 days. This is day 3. I'm probably going to do about another 3 days of just really soaking that, and then maybe get a strap wrench or a big pipe wrench and just see if I can't break that loose. It's actually rusted down into that block, and I don't want to damage the block at all. And then the axle, went ahead and pulled the axles out just to see what what it looked like, where the bearings were. Discovered it is a Dana 23 rear end. The spider gears and the ring and pinion all look really, really good. I'll show you the gears here. So far, so there's no pitting or scoring or anything like that. I think it's just going to need seals and bearings. You know, obviously this is a full floating rear end, so that's or full floating axle, that's a really good thing. So basically the axle's just, you know, you unbolt them right here, and then you pull the entire axle out. Then you got 2 nuts, and they've got like a safety washer in there. And then this hub and the drum comes all off at one set, or one piece. Same thing on the other side. And then you can remove the back plate with all the brake workings right off of the axle. And then I'll clean up that axle, dismantle it, got the bearings and seals, get them on order. Make sure the gears are okay. You know, obviously get that out of there, get that all the assembly in there, and then obviously the pinion out. Got the pinion nut off, and the socket that I got for the nut to go in here, it's the wrong size. I got 1 7/8 inches, and it's either a 2 or a 2 1/4 or so. I can get the caliper out and actually measure it before I order again. Let's see, what else? Oh, the leaf springs. Got them off of that axle over there, and one of them's here. The other one, the owner is taking it to a place to get the other half of that shackle out of the eyelet. And if you remember, I had to cut that shackle because there's no greaser and it's probably welded with rust. So I got that soaking in PB Blaster, both in the hole, in the threads, around there, around there. It's gooed up pretty good. So I'm gonna give that a few days and let it go. And then I'm gonna get after that with a big wrench. I don't wanna strip that. So yeah, there we go. And if all else fails, we'll have to replace that actual shackle mount, but I don't want to do that. I don't want to go through the headache of, you know, taking this to a body shop or getting a mobile welder to come over here and repair that for us. And just to give you an idea of the wire brushes that I use, Harbor Freight, you know, these are disposable things, so, you know, real good. This is a soft kind of wire, and then you've got this one. It's kind of like that. And then this one's a twisted wire. As you can see, these hold up really, really good. And then the one I've actually got on the, actually I'm using the waxer, believe it or not, is the twisted wire cut brush. And that's working really, really good on the flat places. I use the flat, use these, I'll call them flat, anywhere I need to get in someplace tight. And, you know, like the inside of the shackles for the shocks and stuff like that, and the leaf spring mounts. Like I said, I've still got to clean that up right there, get the greaser on it, and then power wash it, and then it'll be ready for Cora Seal. What we decided was we're going to do 2 coats Cora Seal, Cora Seal. I'm using this product right here. I've got 2 gallons just in case, so I can do the axles and the frame, leaf springs, everything, and not run out. And then we're going to use a product called Zero Rust. Probably going to do a couple of coats, at least 2, probably 3 coats of that on the frame, the axles, the leaf springs. The shocks will be replaced with new, so that those aren't going to need to get cleaned up or anything. And then once I get that all back together, then I'll start working on the axles, disassembly, and the transmission. And then plan of attack is to get this one, you know, the frame, once it's all complete, flip it over, get the leaf springs back in there, and then get the axles back in, then transfer case, then transmission, then engine, and then we'll be ready to do the body. We'll put the body on. And then it's just the ancillary stuff, you know, oh gosh, steering column, the tires, wheels, you know, dash gauges, stuff like that, steering wheel, and everything's in real good shape. I'm kind of running out of a little bit of room, but luckily this is a 2-car garage. It's just a standard home here, but a 2-car garage, and I was able to, you know, get everything pulled off and into boxes and labeled, and then store them on a shelf in the pantry. And then everything else is in here with the exception of the body. You know, the body, the tailgate, the hood, the fenders, excuse me, and the grill and the windshield are actually at the owner's house. So had the body need to be stored in here, I wouldn't have any room. So good news is, got some working space around here. That helps not only with keeping it clean, but also with, you know, the work area being able to sweep and get all the debris. I took a couple of photos on all of the crud that came off of this frame, top and bottom thus far. I would say it would fill up half of a 5-gallon bucket. I'll post those in the photo log on the resto booklet that we're going to maintain. And then we'll go from there. So more to come. I'm going to call it a day. I've been out here 3 hours yesterday and about 4 today. And like I said, I'm about 60% complete. I've still got to do wire brushing and then get it out, power wash it, degrease, and then get it back in here, back on the stands. Probably start with the bottom prep with the core seal, flip it over, do the top, core seal, and then start with the top with the Zero Rust paint, and then another coat, and then flip it over and do the final coat just on the bottom, so that any drips are showing on the bottom and not on the top of the frame. So that may change. I might do it the other way around, just because people climb up underneath the vehicle when they're inspecting it, and I don't want to have any kind of gobs and drips and, you know, blobs of paint showing anywhere. I'm gonna do this right and make sure it turns out really as professional as I can get it. So with that, YouTube, have a wonderful day and stay safe out there, and we'll follow up again with another video.